Hey, hello everyone. This is Tapas. Welcome to your channel tapaScript. In the last video, we have seen how to integrate motion. Earlier, it used to be known as Framer Motion with Next.js App Router, Next.js 15, especially with the server components. We have seen some animations like this where we could animate a component, also a page where we did the scroll animation, something that I loved a lot and showed you how to do it in the video. Now, today, what we are going to do, we are going to accomplish something called a page transition animation. It means that when you are going from one page to another page, how do you do certain animation so that whenever you enter to a page or exit from a page, the animation make the content looks appealing and aesthetically much more rich. So let's get started with that. But before we start, as usual, the request is if you like this video, post a like, post a comment, tell me how did you feel about it, and of course subscribe, because without your subscription, not much motivation. As we are talking about page level animation, we have just two pages right now. One is the home page where that square is rotating, and there is another page where I showed you the scroll animation. By the way, if you have not caught with that video, please go ahead and look into it. That particular video link is in the description of this video. It is important because you will have a continuous learning then. So what we're going to do first, we're going to build a couple of pages right now. We'll build a static page and a dynamic page, and we will show the transition for both the pages. Let's go ahead and start creating the static page first. So for that, under app, I'm going to create a new folder called about, because I'm going to create an about page, and inside that I'm going to create something called a page.js file. So I have a page.js file. The about page can be a very static page where we can have a bunch of paragraphs listed. So let's have a component like this. It's a very simple component where I have a div and bunch of p tags with lorem ipsum. So this about page I can access from my browser now with /about. That's great. Now next thing is, let us link this /about from this particular page so that whenever we click on that link to go to /about, we can do certain animation, entry animation for that page. Go ahead and add a link. So that's inside block page.js file. We already have a link called tapaScript post. Along with that, let us add one more link for about, which connects to /about. Great. And we can basically put these two links inside a div with a justify between, so that the first link appears at the left side and the about link comes to the right side. Let's see in the UI. We see this. This is the header, and here is the link. If I click on about, it will go to the about page. Great. Now it's time that we start adding that animation. So in Next.js, we know the concept of layout. In layout, things are pretty static, whatever you define. With your page navigation, when you go from one route to another route, your layout is not going to re-render. So it means that if you have created a header, created a footer, or the sidebar, which are common across all the pages in your application, once you move from one page to another page, those header, footer, sidebar are not going to re-render. That's fine. But there is something else also Next.js provides, which called template. I have created a video to show you what is the difference between a layout and a template with projects. So if you have not seen that video, please go ahead and take a look. I have given the link to that video in the description of this as well. So what template does, unlike layout, whenever you do a transition from one page to another page, when you navigate, the template re-renders. So it means that if you define any state in that particular template file, the state will be again reset. If you have any animation in that particular file, that animation will be rerun. And that's how you get dynamicism when you go from one route to another route, when you do the navigation change using template. The look and feel of a layout and the template almost the same. So that's where most of the people get confused, and that's why I'm asking to look into that video where we have drawn that comparison. So let's go ahead and start writing a template and then start putting the animation inside it so that we can see this page getting animated when we are navigating from one. Creating a template is pretty easy. Wherever your layout is there, your page is there, the top level items, let me just collapse all this. Over here under app directory, create a new file called template.js. Just like your layout template also takes the children, and these children will be each of the pages on the same route. Now over here, just like a React component, you will be returning something, and this is the children means the page. So it means that this template will now run for each of the navigation on this particular route level. This is slash. So it means that on slash, apart from running this layout, Next.js is also going to run this template on top of it. So it means if I am putting a div around these children, that div will appear around this page as well. So with that thought, what I can do now is I can wrap this page with a motion.div. That's what we have seen in the last video. And the motion come from motion slash React client because we are talking about server comp. So let's go ahead and import motion from motion slash React hyphen client, and then wrap this guy with motion.div, and along with this we can pass certain animation properties from motion. What we can do, we can do a transition of ease in out. Again, if you're new to animations, if you want a deeper knowledge of how animation is done in CSS, I have created a course. Please go ahead and look into that. And then along with that, we'll use the initial property and the animate property. Both the properties we have seen in the previous video, the same thing we are going to use over here as well. So first we are going to use an initial property. So initially y20 opacity 0 means nothing I'm going to show. From there, I'm going to animate it to opacity 1, y0 at the top. So that means something will be shown. So before, the page content will be somewhat below, not shown. And then when I'm entering the page, that time the content will little bit come up from 20 to 0, and it will be shown. So that's the animation that I'm planning. And while the transition happen, let's put some transition control as well. That's it I have to do, nothing more than that. So let's go ahead and test it out. So you're ready? From this page, I'm going to click on the about and look at the transition right now. Did you see that? If I even refresh, you see this. So whenever I am entering to this page from any other page, I am able to animate the content. Using the template, I could achieve this animation. Again, guys, please look into the layout versus template video because I have captured a lot about template for you to learn ground up. Okay, so this is fine. Now I'm going to do one more thing, but this time is for dynamic route. This one was more of a static route. There is nothing dynamic about it. The about page is very static, but let's build a dynamic route with blog. Right now we have a blog page which lists down all my blog posts. Now I can have a click on each of the blog posts, as and when I am clicking on them, I can go to a new blog details page. And when I'm going to that blog details page, I want to animate that content as well when I'm going from a blog list page to the blog details page. Let's do that. So for that, let's create the page first. Inside blog, let's create a new folder called ID because we are going to deal with the dynamic route now. And the blog will be known by blog ID. Now inside that, a page.js file, let's call it a blog details page component. It's a simple React component, but this time we'll be accepting a params because we have to get this ID dynamically from the params. We have seen that, we have learned about dynamic routing from this playlist itself. As we are using Next.js 15, there are certain things that are changed in terms of handling this parameter dynamically. Basically, if you want to extract out anything from this param, you have to do it asynchronously. That's the change that is made in Next.js 15. While take you through the Next.js 15 upgrade video, I have mentioned that already. So we are going to do something similar from this. So do const id equals to await params, and from here you will be extracting out the id. So I got the id right now. As I got the id, I'm going to use the same API which we used last time with JSON placeholder typecode.com/post. Here it will be /post/id. That's it. So let's go back. Let's do a fetch call. With the fetch call, I'm trying to get the response. Same API, but I'm just passing the ID so that I can get the details of that particular post. Now from this, I can get the post data. All right, so I got the post data, and then I can return Let's assume that there is a component called post details. I'll be writing that. I could have done it in this component itself, but I always prefer writing smaller components so that it's easily manageable and reusable. So I can say post details, post equals to this post details data. Excellent. So that's my component. I'll be importing post details in a bit, but let us first create post details. Post details is going to be a very simple component under post, new file, post hyphen details dot jsx. The component is as simple as this. Post details, it takes the post as a props, and from there it just shows the post content with a post dot body. That's it. Now I'll go back to my page and I'm going to import post details from here. That's it. And this post details is what I'm using over here. And last thing pending over here is to export this component. So my blog details is ready. Now what we have to do, we have list of posts which are here, and clicking on each of them, I should go to the details of that post. So I have to do this connection and the linking. So let's go to post list. This is post list. Here I have each of the item as this post list item. So let's go to post list item. Everything is over here. That's why they're having the scroll animation. So here I have to link. I'll do import link, and then I have the post. So from post I can get the post ID. Let's wrap this div with this link. All right, so I have a link now, href2/blog/post.id, so that if I click on each of those item, I can go to /blog that particular post ID, and whenever I go to that particular post ID through the dynamic route, this particular page will be called, this component will be called. I'll get the ID from the parameter, then I'll make the new call. I'll get the post data, pass the post data to the post details, and everything should work. Let's go back to UI and test. All right, time to click on this guy. I clicked on it. Wow, I get the post details. But one thing happened. It didn't animate. So when I was going to about, the animation was there. Even when I go back to /blog, the animation was there. There was something that's coming up. But if I go over here, the animation is missing. Why? Because like layout, template also works based on the routing. In our case, the top level layout is this layout.js. And for this layout.js, we have this page.js file. And we also have this template. But when I have a dynamic route like this blog, and inside this ID, and inside the ID, I have a page. To have a template impact, you have to have a template.js here as well. So what I'm going to do in this case, I'm just going to do a copy, and inside this ID, I'm going to paste this guy. Same template.js, no changes. You see over here, same template.js file. This particular route's dynamic route has its own template. If we wanted, we could have had its own layout, but for our video and our learning for today, we don't need layout. We are just interested in getting the animation done. So we have the same template, which is doing same entry level animation. So now let's go back. All right, let's click on this particular post and see. You saw that? Now it's got animated. So that's what we wanted to do. From the beginning of our app, everything seems to be animating. This is the landing page. Then from here, if I go to blog, this gets animated. If I go to any of the post, this gets animated. If I come back, the header also gets animated. If I go to about, this also gets animated. So overall, with motion or framer motion, that's what we used to call earlier, we have learned how to tackle component level animation and the page level animation. You can really go farther, really go deep by understanding how the motion works with all other animation APIs. But to use it with Next.js, be it a client-side component or a server-side component, this is what you need to do. Whatever we have showed in these two videos, the last one and this one, is all about tackling with server-side components. We have not written a single use client. So guys, if it was meaningful to you, please support me with like, comments, and don't forget to subscribe. I'll be coming next very soon with another informative video that's going to help you in your development journey. Stay well, keep learning.